Hello everybody and lovely greetings from Austria. My name is Goran Stepic and today I would like to share with you my experience with Walimex Aptaris Pro Universal Cage, which I have been using for about one and a half year until now. I have invested in Panasonic Lumix GH4 camera, and for that camera I was searching for a specific cage, and the requirements for the cage that I had were the following. Number one, for me, the cage has to be of the very high quality. The second, the cage has to have a lot of connection options, both on the top of the cage as on the bottom of the cage, for connecting various attachments and accessories like microphone, wireless receivers, lights, LED light, external viewfinder and audio amplifier like Juice Link or Zoom. Further requirement was that cage has to grow with a camera. That means that not only to fit my current GH4 camera, but also to fit to my probably future investment, like some other DSLR or SLR or video camera, which might be possible to buy in the future. Very important requirement for me was that the cage has to accommodate DSLR, in my case GH4, with a battery grip attached to that inside the cage. The cage has to be also very versatile, meaning to be used in various configurations. For example, having a cage and using it as a bulk configuration, that means having a rig and having a cage in front of my chest. Very useful. I'm tall, I'm 182 centimeters, and when you shoot the thing low level, it's always better to have a camera a little lower. So therefore, that was the requirement to have it also as in a so-called bulldog configuration. The cage also should fit on the shoulder rig configuration, meaning that I can attach the cage on my shoulder rig and also using it for the most and majority of situations you use it as a shoulder rig. The cage itself also has to have a lot of connection possibilities, allowing me to attach all the accessories that I need, like I already said, the wireless receivers, the light, the audio amplifier, the articulating arm for the electronical viewfinder. Also, it should allow me to take the cage with all the configurations and having it in one hand or on a handle, shoot from the different angles, like for example skateboarders for low level, light level, or attach it on itself on the monopod or a tripod. Next very important requirements for me was to allow me to attach and detach the camera inside the cage very easily. That means not to be tied with a screw, but in my case to have a Manfrotto 501 plate and to slide it to the cage, and then when I need it, take it out of the cage, for example, to make photos. Because why did I invest in the Lumix GH4? It's because it's a versatile camera, allow me to do the stills and also much more, also allow me to do the videos, which is I think the main application for the Lumix GH4. And last but not least, it should to be a full cage configuration. After a lot of research, it became clear to me that I have to build my own custom cage, and I have decided to invest in the Walimex Aptaris Pro cage. The only issue with that cage is that actually, you can't see that very well here, but let's try, is that it's actually the half cage. So what I did, I bought two of those cages and I then connected them together. So far, my experience after almost one and a half year working with that are positive, and in particular the following. I have inside the cage a Manfrotto base plate, which allows me to use the 501 plates. So I have standardized all my camera and all my base plates and plates on a Manfrotto 501. So inside I have it Manfrotto, then when I simply can take my GH4 camera, slide it in, lock it. There is another reason that I don't like to use the cold or hot shoe to attach and to fix the camera, because I would like to take the camera very easy out, use it for the still photos, even maybe attach the flash. Then when I'm finished, take the camera back, slide it here, lock it and use it as a video camera. The cage itself has also a 501 plate attached here, which allows me to attach the cage itself to monopod or tripod and use it in a various situations. It's a very useful, for example, shooting with a monopod, for example, weddings. On the top of the cage, I have mounted the cheese plate, which in this case is small rig cheese plate, serving two purposes. Of course, to connect these two half cages, which they are not actually designed to work together, and to give me the enough surface and connection points to put all the accessories that I need as a one main operator. As you can see here, there is a Rode micro, there is usually two wireless receivers, there is a Juice Link amplifier. Here also articulating arm for holding the electronical external viewfinder, in this case Zacuto. Enough space here also to connect a LED light, and from time to time when I need a multi-audio recording capabilities, then I connect also my Zoom H6 here. The downturn of that almost Frankenstein configuration, there are a few of them. For example, it's a little bit heavier because I need more connection points, screws, some things that you know, thinking over how to connect those two half cages. So I need more screws, more plates, more in between, some small cheese plates, etc. So it adds a little bit more weight than usually. Then second thing is those two half cages, they are not designed to work together, so it is a little bit cumbersome to connect them, and also the alignment is not exactly like it should to be. So therefore I had to work with the Manfrotto base plate, and also had to work with the cheese plate in order to get that exactly alignment, you know, horizontal, in order to get straightforward direction by the shooting. Last but not least, also the width is limited. That means that the height can be adjusted using those so-called Walimex Aptaris XXL adapter, but the width is fixed. That means, okay, fine, is serving my GH4 and some other cameras, but also leaving a lot of space in between. So for example, I would like to get a little bit more tight, or for some other cameras, you know, to adapt, etc. So that is also the downturn of that my own configuration. Summa summarum, that configuration serves me very well, because with those XXL adapters allows me to adjust the height, and so I can have a various configuration with a battery grip, without the battery grip. In my case, I use all my GH4 always with a battery grip. It fits, from ergonomical point of view, it fits very good in my hands. Without battery grips, it's a little bit too small for my big hands. Having said that, that means also that not only that it's gonna serve and serves me very well with the Lumix GH4, but also I wanted to invest and buy something that will serve me also in the future, my future purchase of the cameras. But the Walimex is listening to their customers, and I'm very, very proud to present you the I believe, the very first production unit shipped to any customer of the Walimex Aptaris Pro Universal Frame cage. What is that I'm so excited about this new cage? Let us open it. First of all, the build quality is extraordinary. It is something which is made in Germany and reminds me personally reminds me on the German car manufacturers. Extremely well built, very sturdy, high quality, pretty light. The cage itself already comes with a built-in handle, cold shoe to attach some other accessories, and something very clever and very helpful to me, as you can see here, the bubble level, which I find very, very helpful. The Walimex Aptaris Pro Universal Frame cage has much more attachment possibilities. Both on the top of the cage there are much more threaded holes, 3/4 and the 16th, and you can see here also with the small attachments from bigger to smaller screws, and also on the bottom there are much more attachment possibilities here, which makes this universal frame cage to me very, very versatile. But the most important feature and advantage of this cage is that this cage, not only that it can grow in a height using those universal XXL adapters, which you can see here. This is simply this adapter which you screw this, put adapter in the middle, adjust the height and screw it again. Not only in the height, but also you can adjust the width of the cage, and not only in a parallel way, but also, for example, keeping the one side on a certain width and other side extend the width so you can fit various camera configuration. For me, this is the most versatile cage for DSLR cameras that currently I can buy for my hard-earned cash. I would like to highlight that I personally do not have any professional relationship with a Walimex company, and this unit simply I have bought for my own money. I would like to use this opportunity to thank very much to the local dealer walimex.at. You can see the link down in the description, for providing me obviously the very first production unit shipped to some customer, and I am very glad that I had a chance to get us this small and short review about this cage. In the next couple days I will rebuild my cage using this new Walimex Aptaris Pro Universal Frame cage. What a word! Universal Frame, let's call it. And I will report about my experience with that new configuration. Stay tuned!